For over 40 years, Rabbi Noah Weinberg has been helping Jews of all backgrounds discover the wisdom and beauty of their heritage. Rabbi Noah was born and raised in New York City. He studied at Johns Hopkins and Loyola Universities and received his rabbinical ordination at the Ner Yisrael Rabbinical College in Baltimore. Today, he resides with his Rebbetzin in the heart of Jerusalem. With his trademark warmth, wisdom, and love for all people, Rabbi Noah has become everyone's rabbi, touching the hearts of Jews from all walks of life across the globe.
If you've got a snooker cue in your hand and you're in a hotel room and you just trash it, you smash everything, you just break up beds, and then you get the television in your hands, you open a window and you hurl the TV out of the hotel room, that will get a lot out.
It is a trick question, how to accept frustration in life. Because, I mean, that's also for every person that's different, and I have not mastered that yet at all.
By being frustrated, it's not going to change anything. You know what I mean? By making yourself upset, it only makes things worse. There's no point in doing it. It's a totally useless thing. Try to put yourself in some Zen, meditate, do some yoga or something like that.
And as my husband says, just relax. It'll be okay. You'll get through it. And the next day will be better. Worst comes to worst, you go to sleep, the next day is always better.
Losing your temper is you get into frustration. Your kid doesn't want to eat. Somebody doesn't hear what you're telling him. You start yelling, you lost your temper, you gave into frustration. So you've got to understand that giving into frustration is a very terrible thing. Giving into frustration is why we don't learn a language. Remember when you undertook to learn a language, you're going to work at it, you build your muscles, go on a diet, slim down. You know, defeat is all from not being able to take frustration. Because everybody knows you just keep on exercising, you'll build your muscles. Everybody knows you pick up those weights a little more, and in the end you don't see anything. You give up. Don't give up. You'll learn a language. Everybody learns languages. You can go on a diet, you can lose weight, you just have to have the discipline. But we can't take the frustration.
I would say to realize that there are more important things in life, and just focus that everything is meant to be for a reason.
Knowing that it's where you are, knowing that's what's gonna happen, you know, it's all a path, it's all it's gonna be.
Look around and see that everyone gets frustrated, and it's normal, and it can help you see how to make things better for yourself.
So the first thing that you got to know is that really frustration, it's a pleasure. When did you buy, and all of us have done it, we went out, we went to a store, we took our money, good money, and we spent it on a bag of frustration. Did you ever do that? Sure you did. Did you ever buy a jigsaw puzzle? You ever buy a Rubik's Cube? You ever buy a computer game? All these things are built on accepting frustration. Why? Because, let me ask you, if you buy a jigsaw puzzle and you take it home and it's numbered. It's numbered. All you got to do is match the numbers. You come back and say, what the heck did you guys do? Well, we wanted to make it easy for you. No, the whole thing is to put it together. The whole thing is the frustration. A computer game. You can't lose. Every time you shoot one of those monsters, they drop dead. They never get away from you. The monsters ding, 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 ding. They're all dying. All the monsters. They keep. You say, what the heck is this thing? It's broken. Why? Because we want frustration. What do you mean you want frustration? There's a pleasure in overcoming frustration. So you don't have to go to the store. Life is full of frustrations. Just learn how to enjoy it. So how do you enjoy the frustration of a computer game? Well, you ate the ghosts, yeah? And then they got you. That's terrible. So you look at the number, it was, I got 500 points. You figure, now I'm going to get 700 points. So you try again, you get 510 points. Making progress. You get the pleasure of making progress. Now I found out where the ghosts are coming from. Now I'm going to really get them. And you get more pleasure. And that's where you build it up. The same thing goes with the jigsaw puzzle. Some people take the outline, you know, because they see all the pieces that are like the frame of the puzzle, so they build that up. And then they have the sense of, well, I got somewhere. And then they take all the pieces that are the sky, and all the pieces that are the building, and then they start matching them up, and they find one, they find another. You've got to learn to do that with life. You've got to learn that if you're going to die, you're sticking out. You'll pick up the pieces. You'll get the disciplines in the way of making it work, and you'll lose those pounds, and you'll feel great. You got it. First time you get on a scale, and you're 2 pounds less, you say, ooh, it's worth a little effort. Yeah? It's a heck of a lot more a real success than you got the frame of the puzzle. We can enjoy frustration. Life is full of frustration. Learn how, from the frustration that you buy, to take the frustration that the Almighty gave you for your pleasure.
How can a person live on a natural high? I don't even understand the question. Like, how do you get a natural high? How do you keep it? What's the question?
Reality is that a person's not going to be on a high the whole time, and you're going to get the high sometimes, and you're going to have to try to find your way back to the high. That's the point of life, that you have to try to get back to that high.
I heard nutmeg does the job.
You have to have Tylenol sometimes.
Meditation.
A good bargain is a high for me.
Don't go to sleep 5 days and then just, whatever you do, put so much energy into everything and just see the results. I've never tried it, but it's definitely something I'd like to do.
Awe is really natural to us. It's just that we're closing our eyes tight. If you look at electrons in your hand and the greatness of man, you have to live in a different world than the one we're living in. I remember as a kid, I was 11 years old, there was a hurricane out in Lawrence. There was a hurricane, and I was in the home. There was glass windows, of course, and a tree was uprooted. A 50-foot tall tree was uprooted and was bouncing down the road, standing upright. It was bouncing down the road. And I was awestruck. I was just watching it, and in the top of my head, I was saying to myself, Noah, you better get under a bed or in a closet. You know, shattered glass can do it. But it was so awesome that I just forgot myself. It didn't matter. I had to watch this. Now, anybody who's been in an earthquake or a hurricane or been on the ocean with 50-foot waves, he knows that the power is just overwhelming. And we don't care about ourselves. It's something to see. You want to see this overwhelming power. And there's quiet awe. Quiet awe is just go out any night outside of a city, and you look up at the sky and you see the beautiful stars so far away, and you understand it's billions of light years away, and we're a little speck on Earth, and the stars, and the speck. Who are we? And it's overwhelming. It's awe, the power of the universe. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling, and it takes you out of the mundane. People walk through life on a mundane basis. It's like pedestrian. You have this experience, you know, it's fabulous.
Trying to keep the juices flowing, keep stimulated. It's nothing worse than falling into a rut.
Billions of people live on a natural high, and they experience it every day. And ask them how they feel and how they like it.
Just always be happy.
So how is it that we can have this feeling all the time? Well, really, it's how come we don't have this feeling all the time? Every one of you has watched television. Every one of you has been on a plane. You know what a plane? Can you imagine a plane landing in Rome? You know, it's old Rome with Caesar and the Roman Empire with their haughty ways, and you just come in with a 747 and land, and people just get off. People will be bowing to you. Oh, wow! And we sit in the plane and we're both stiff. But you know so much that is. absolutely awe-inspiring. Do you know, there's no, this is air, space, with electrons whizzing at the speed of light. That's what it is. And when I move a finger, I'm sending an electron from the opposite side. You see, right hand, opposite side, I'm sending an electron, goes through, and what's it moving? A stream of electrons are moving. It's all a stream of electrons holding together by gravity. You just open your eyes. We know today, we know the DNA, we can do gene transplants, we can do, there's so much that's awe-inspiring that to see and to live in a mundane world is ridiculous. But what good is it to have this awe? Look, all pleasures, that's what we're here for, all pleasures. Awe is a pleasure, it's energizing. But it's much more. Awe particularly opens you up. If you want to do brainstorming, or you want to get out of depression, or you want, it just opens things up. Ding, it's a different world. You're living in a different world.
Living on a natural high is appreciating everything in life and appreciating the little things like a beautiful sunset or the waves in the ocean.
Just see the world in a positive light, and you know, everything will make you happy, and you can float on that.
Now you want to know what's the most awesome thing that you ever met? That's a human being. The prophet, King David, says, when I lift my eyes to the heavens and see your handiwork, the stars and space, I exclaim, what is man that you should take note of him? And the child of man that you should care for him? And yet you have left him but a little less than God, and with beauty and with meaning have you crowned him. So the prophet exclaims that the most awesome creation that the Almighty made is man. We are the ones that can put a plane in the sky, and we can find out about the electrons and how a human being works and how the world works, and we can create a beautiful world or destroy it. That's every human being that you meet. Open your eyes.
Seeing my baby happy. When I come home after work and that smile on the baby's face, that is joy. And he can start laughing because I'm the mommy, and that's joy.
Having a nice husband and a good husband.
True joy is listening to every Smiths album in a row.
I don't know, I've never experienced true joy. For me, it's like playing video games or hanging out partying and stuff like that. But then again, what do I know, you know?
True joy. The first thing you got to understand, everybody loves joy. When you have joy, it's euphoric. But you got to understand that there's different types of joy. There's true joy. There's joy which is so-so. There's joy which is illusionary. It's an illusion. And there's joy which is counterproductive. This is bad joy, yeah? So, like, what is true joy? Just to understand, to get a picture of it, you know, when I was a kid, so when they wanted to show somebody having a real joy, I go, wow, yeah? They'd show a picture, they'd have a movie of a fellow pacing in the waiting room, you know, back and forth and smoking cigarettes one after the other, and he's pacing back and forth, and the doctor would come in and say, you've had a boy. And then he'd lift up, he'd jump with joy, he'd give the doctor a cigar, he'd give the nurse a cigar, he'd give the orderly a cigar, he'd try to put a cigar into the baby's mouth, and they stop him. I mean, the guy he was out of it. Today, when they want to show a guy who's wiped out, they show a fellow pacing back and forth in the waiting room, he's pacing back and forth, and the doctor comes out, and he says, you've had triplets. And he's out flat on the ground, yeah? What happened? What happened? It's not so long ago, you know, I don't look so young, but it's not so long ago, 50 years, a little more, so what? But during this time, people forgot about true joy. You see, having a baby is true joy. Why? Because you're anticipating a lifetime of meaning, a lifetime of pleasure, of love, of seeing this child grow, of seeing him walk, of seeing him beginning to talk, about going to school, about playing and laughing and getting married. And it's a lifetime. You have a lifetime of pleasure being born into your hands. People don't see it that way anymore. They see, what, a baby? Now, diapers. Staying up in the middle of the night. Bottles. Crying. Having to burp him. Taking him to, no more bowling, no more skiing. And out he goes. So joy is from what you anticipate, you see. So now what are you anticipating? Every one of us would jump with joy if we won $10 million. We'd jump with joy. What are we anticipating? I can do anything I want. Anything I can do. I can punch the professor in the nose. I can take the boss and throw him out the door. I am free. I can do anything. The fact is, you can't do anything you want unless you know what you want. You know. So the truth of the matter is, people who win $10 million, you come back in 10 years, they're the same miserable guys that won the $10 million before they won the $10 million. You know, because it's an illusion. Unless you know what you want, and believe me, that should give you joy. It's just knowing what you want, because then you have a chance of getting it. But unless you know what you want, $10 million is not going to change your life. You can do what you feel like doing, but you'll regret it later.
True joy would be to find out ultimately what the truth is in the world and what my purpose in life is.
True clarity. True joy is just, you know, being with people you love and when everything's going right.
What's hysterical joy? Just counterproductive. You know, the Philadelphia Lakers won the hockey league. If you guys know what the hockey league is, they won the National Hockey League championship, and the town went crazy. You know, in the last 50 years, they've been fielding teams and they never won a thing. Now, they went nuts. They celebrated until 3 a.m. in the morning. Then you know what happened? At 3 a.m. it started getting ugly. They turned over trees, they turned over cars, they smashed windows, they fought the police. Everybody was miserable. What the heck happened? They were celebrating. You see, when they won, they thought, oh boy, now we come and we say, we're from Philadelphia. And they'll roll out the red carpet. We're from Philadelphia, you know. And they'll let us in on the subway for free. And everybody will bow to us. Yeah? By 3 a.m. they start thinking, what really has changed? Not a darn thing. Not a darn thing. We haven't changed a darn thing. And that's a very deep disappointment. And they went ugly. So everybody should think, what really would make him happy? What would make him full of joy? Jump with joy. Use your imagination, or use the times that you did. Then figure out what's the essence. Why is it that you want to be important? The Lakers, you want to be important. How are you going to be important? You want meaning. What is it that you jump in with joy? Now you think you got it. How do you get it? You want to do what you want? Learn what is it that you want. Know yourself. Figure out what would make you jump with joy. Go and make the effort and jump with joy.
Take time to appreciate things instead of rushing through the day.
One can make the most out of everyday pleasures by keeping them diverse and always keeping them fresh.
Every time we have a pleasure, it's something special, and not everybody feels pleasure every day. You know, if you can recognize that and realize that you're getting something special, so you'll feel it then.
Everybody enjoys the ocean. If you go down to the ocean, everybody enjoys the first 10 minutes you're swimming, 15 minutes, and then, okay, enough. So what do? I mean, you took 2 hours to get to the ocean and 2 hours to get back. Yes, I can't spend 15 minutes at the ocean, right? So you lie down in the sand, and the sand gets to you, yeah? And you wipe it off, and you take a towel and put it on the sand, and you're baking, and it's a little hot, and it's boring, and you're itchy, but how long have we been here? Half an hour? Hey, look, man, everybody enjoys the ocean, everybody enjoys a beautiful day, everybody enjoys a beautiful sunset, everybody enjoys a gorgeous flower. for 2 minutes. If you learn how, you can enjoy a museum for 2 hours. You can enjoy the Almighty's works of art for a heck of a lot more time if you learn how to pay attention and appreciate it.
You have to look at yourself internally and see what is the highest pleasure that you could ever possibly want.
People eat like this. Eating is such a pleasure of life. People don't take it in for like what it is. Like you could sit down for a moment and like just feel and taste and everything.
The Almighty made a gorgeous world, and He created such wonderful, tasty foods, and tasty fruits, and vegetables that if well done, you know, their taste sensations are without end. And there are other physical sensations that are really delicious. The Almighty created a gorgeous world for our pleasure. And Judaism says that we should take the pleasure. And we should thank the Almighty before we take pleasure. So we say, thanks. Why do you have to thank the Almighty? You make a bracha. You know, you take a glass of water, you make a bracha. Take a glass of wine, you make a separate, particular bracha. What do we have to thank the Almighty? You say, he's so demanding, everything. Because the way to really get pleasure is first use your head. You know, in the finer universities in the United States of America, they teach you that you get credit to learn how to enjoy music. And if you have a good professor who knows his business, who knows music and enjoys it, and can articulate how to enjoy it and share it with you, music is different the rest of your life. And if you have a good professor who teaches you how to enjoy art, and if he enjoys art, and he understands how he enjoys it, and he shares that technique with you, art is different the rest of your life. But I don't know how many of you know that in the finest universities in the United States, they have a 3-credit course on wine tasting. Wine tasting. And if you have a good lush, you know, a professor who really appreciates wine, and he knows how to articulate, you got to smell it, you got to roll it around on your tongue, you know, and then you really appreciate wine. So in Judaism we say, before you eat something, focus your attention. We Westerners in the United States particularly are accused of fast food. Blum, 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 blum. You know, hardly even taste. It's just a sensation with it. It's mustard on this. It's all the same. They put ketchup on the whole thing, and you're only eating ketchup. The French say Americans are barbarians. They kill the food. Don't kill the food. Eat it, taste it, savor it. Saying, thank you, God, as being aware that the Almighty created it for your pleasure. And you appreciate His manifold creative abilities, the touch, the taste, the smell, the texture. And that's the way to really enjoy life. Take it with your mind. Lead with your mind.
People can get the most out of everyday pleasures by focusing on one pleasure a day and getting the most out of that one pleasure.
Waking up early, doing a lot in the day, reading, writing, eating good hearty meals that fill you up.
If you have any questions or any comments, anything at all, we're interested. Please call.